Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Elaine McFadden from Smart Health Talk right here at Expo West at one of my very favorite picks here at the show today. And I am here with Kate.
Hello, how are you? Kate Solomon.
Kate Solomon.
Yeah.
And Kate has one of the most wonderful lines of personal care products that I have ever seen. And the story behind them is what really attracted me to these products, because Kate, with her longtime experience with the Peace Corps and working with farmers, actually took that to New York and worked with farmers there to grow the ingredients for these products right here. So this is like, I've never even heard of this kind of model before, of someone actually working directly with the farmers for the ingredients, because most people source them from ingredient companies where you don't really know where the ingredients actually came from. And she's actually working directly with the farmers to create these ingredients. So everyone, I want to introduce you to Kate and let her tell you about her wonderful products and how she came to develop all these. So, Kate.
Thank you. Babo Botanicals. Babo Botanicals. It's named after my son's security bunny. He actually named the brand, and he still sleeps with the bunny every single night.
That's good luck. So, what? Oh my gosh, sorry. So, what brought you to even want to, develop these kind of products?
Well, as you said, I was in the Peace Corps, and I'm a beekeeper, and I've always been very interested in making natural cosmetic and personal care products from my time in the Peace Corps. And then I went to go work for a lot of big beauty giants and learned the trade really, really well of how to develop products. And then I combined my two passions and developed a line that's natural and pure for babies and kids of all ages, and even sensitive adults can use it too.
So you said that you were working for big cosmetic giants. So during that time, was there something that you noticed about the cosmetics that they were making that you didn't like and that you thought you could do better, and that would also be a good thing for the consumers because they would have a better choice in your mind?
Well, I just had my first child, and there was nothing out there that I felt was pure and safe enough for my family. And the products that I was developing, I knew the ingredients that were going into those products, and I was really passionate about developing a line that was incredibly safe, natural, pure. And so that's why I left to create Babo.
Well, so what you're saying is that you wanted to develop something that what you felt was safe enough for your child, and that you didn't feel comfortable recommending anything else than something that you oversaw and you knew were the very best ingredients for other people's children. That's how you feel.
That's exactly how I felt, and I felt like I wanted to create a family brand so I could use it. I could use it as a pregnant mom. I could use it with my family. I'm a big believer in taking baths and showers with my kids, and I just wanted a product that would be suitable for me, my husband, our entire family. So that's what I was really passionate about.
And when the farmers that you work with as well, how did that whole thing come about, where you started going and talking to farmers about supplying the ingredients for your products? How did that happen?
Well, I teamed up with a great group of botanists. They've been developing products for 25 years on their own, and I was fortunate enough to know them just being in the industry. I knew that they developed really great natural products, and a lot of their ingredients came from their certified organic farm. And they really believed in my concept and Babo, and so we teamed up together, and that's how it happened. It's a family-run operation. They've got a zillion kids on the farm, and so they were so excited to do this project.
And so you are actually going down to the farm. Up to the farm
for me.
Okay, in northern New York. and you're going up there and like actually visiting the farm and watching things grow and talking to the farmers, and so you know exactly the farming methods that's been used. You know personally, you know the farmers and work with them.
Oh yeah, and they're amazing, and I mean, there's nothing like going up there in the summertime and seeing their expansive garden. And I have pictures of that. I blog about it. It's just beautiful, and they've got their own farmers market too. So they actually sell a lot of their vegetables and flowers and such in their farmers market. But yeah, it's really rewarding, and it's great. We all love it.
Well, so what do you think about other products that have things like phytates in them?
Yeah, you know, I'm a non-judgmental person, but you know, I just, you know, for my own family and for my customers, I really want to create products that everyone feels really good about.
And so you think a product that had phytates in it would be something that you wouldn't use?
You know, I do read ingredients a lot, and you know, I make sure what we bring into our own home, you know, fits our bill of safety. So you know, I try to read the labels very carefully.
I agree, and we have to have more people educated on just what they need to be looking for on the label. Is there anything that you would advise customers to do when they're reading labels, things that maybe they would want to avoid?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to avoid, my kids have never actually had any skin difficulties, and I really attribute that to the products that they're using. And, you know, I mean, like just alcohol, I think, can be very drying. I think fragrances, you know, if they're not coming from essential oils, that's a really big one, and that creates a lot of allergies. And of course, you know, nuts, you know, can be very allergenic to a lot of babies and kids as well. So, you know, just making sure that, you know, you're really reading and making sure things are as clean as possible.
Well, I mean, I just look over here, and when I look at your packaging and I look at the products, you can actually see the products in the packaging. It just gives the feeling of cleanliness and purity. And when you smell, like this wonderful apple flavor that you have right here, when you let me smell that.
Favorites. Oh my gosh. I can't even tell you, the essential oil blends that are in these products took forever to develop. I'm a huge scent person, so I'm very picky about what goes into these products. So we spend a lot of time on that one.
I know, and like what you just said, essential oils, and I mean that's what used to be in products, and then they started developing cheap chemical substitutes so that they can increase the profit margin on products, and the customer has been the one that is like missing out. They're getting a cheaper price, but they don't realize that the price that they're paying by getting a cheaper product.
It's not, yeah, the price is, you know, skin problems that can develop. You know, itchy skin with kids is a huge problem. Scaly, itchy, you know, eczema, and you know, a lot of kids get hives or red, irritated skin, and all this, you know, things that can be easily avoided. Really.
What about like cradle cap?
Cradle cap is more of a medical concern. You know, it's like a dry, itchy condition that can happen. But again, you know, people swear that these products help relieve that or help prevent it. And this is all about prevention. It's all, don't wait for your child to break out in hives and, you know, and eczema or dry skin. This is about prevention. So let's start developing healthy habits young. And people swear too, adults are saying that this is great for anti-aging because it's not stripping the oils, the natural oils off your skin. These are, you know, preserving your natural oils, and if you do take that off, that can lead to really dry and aged skin.
Yeah, and I love what you said about the alcohol, and I'm thinking that that's kind of what you're relating it to, why you would not recommend alcohol. And you know, you know so much about skin, like, and you're saying that it strips off that layer. Isn't that layer like actually a protective layer for us as well? And when you strip that away, you're kind of leaving yourself open? Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people believe that, you know, the more you wash your face, the less acne you're going to have. But that's quite the opposite. You're stripping your skin of natural oils that gets the skin very irritated. And if you do use a gentle cleanser with natural ingredients, you're not doing that. You're preserving it. And particularly with young skin, your skin, you know, the thinness is so thin that things can permeate into the bloodstream and are easily gets very irritated because it's so thin. So there's a lot of different conditions that can happen at an early age.
And I definitely wanted to zero in on your sunscreen, because sunscreen is like such a big issue right now. And I don't know if everyone's heard about the nanoparticles that are in sunscreens, but those nanoparticles can be potentially very dangerous. There's a lot of research going on with that. And in my opinion, it's like if you're kind of unsure about them at all, I say just don't even use them. Tell us about your sunscreen and how that would compare to like other sunscreens, because I think this is such an important product.
I'm so proud of these products. I'm going to open this one up. This is non-nano, which means that it's not a small enough particle to go into your bloodstream. The particle is large, so it does not go into the bloodstream, which a lot of ingredients can do.
Okay, if it went into the bloodstream, so what? Is that a big deal?
It's a huge deal, because when you eat something that has a chemical in it, your body digestive system can fight that. It's made to fight it. It's not great, but it's made. When something goes into your bloodstream, there's nothing there to fight it. You know, so chemicals are going into your skin and there's nothing there to fight it off. So you want things that don't penetrate the skin. You just don't want it. And so non-nano means it does not. So all these other particles in sunscreen that are entering your system can, and that's why we created a non-nano zinc. And zinc is one of the most effective sunblocks out there. It blocks UVA and UVB, and it's safe, it's mineral, it's natural. And that's why we really are firm believers in zinc oxide. And this one's great. It goes on clear. So it goes on clear, which is amazing. Zinc, no more like white, gunky stuff like you used to have.
I have to tell you, Kate, I am so impressed by you, because all these other companies, that's the reason they went to nanoparticles, was so that you didn't have that white look, so that you could wear sunscreen like under your makeup and that. But you've been able to figure out how to have a clear without the nanoparticles. So that to me is huge.
And it's great. It's really exciting to be in this business right now, because natural technology is catching up to what chemical technology used to be. So we can do these things now in a natural form that's safer, healthier, more protective.
You know, and I love what you said about how we don't have any defenses when things are absorbed through our skin like that. I think you said that better than anybody that I've ever interviewed. I never even really thought about that myself, on why that would be dangerous. So I really appreciate that explanation, because I think that's what parents need to people, you tell them you shouldn't use these nanoparticles, but people don't really get the explanation why that makes sense in their brain, and it kind of clicks and they go, okay, now I understand why I'm not supposed to use that.
You have all these fighting mechanisms in your body and your stomach when you eat something, but think about it. When it comes in, it goes right into your blood system. What's there?
I know, and I just, here, why don't you, I want to kind of put this up to the camera, and like
this is my favorite. I love this scent. This is our Swim Sport line. It has a natural corn chelator that removes chlorine, which we know is very important.
Like, it has that too? Like, I just thought this was like a great smelling, gentle, safe shampoo.
Shampoo and wash, and it smells amazing. It's with soothing cucumber and aloe vera. And, chlorine is, a very drying ingredient for the hair and skin, particularly with children. So, of course, this is a necessity during the summertime. And, hopefully most of chlorinated pools will convert, which is a big movement right now, so there won't be as many in the future, but for now, removes impurities, minerals, and chlorine.
And what about if people have been using like some of those other shampoos that aren't your shampoos, and they've actually had like a chemical buildup on their hair? Would that help them as well?
That's what I love this line for that. I love any of the shampoos. They remove the residue and get all the gunk out. They're very cleansing.
And how bad is that? Like, people, I know a lot of these products people use, and it helps to build up their hair shaft to make their hair look thicker with all those methyl parabens and that kind of thing. But that's like really bad for your hair, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think anything that creates a lot of residue and sticks the hair shaft, a lot can gravitate towards it and lock onto it. So that these shampoos are very great for cleansing.
Okay, well, let's say you did get that residue off. How is that going to change your hair?
Okay, well, a lot of different ways. And parents have actually emailed and commented about this, that their children's hair is less tangly, actually. So for some reason, all this gunk or residue builds up, makes their hair much more, tangly and unmanageable. So when when you can take it away, and then it feels like softer and less tangly and smoother and bouncier, because residue can build up and it can make your hair very, very heavy and kind of unmanageable. So a lot more frizz too when there's residue buildup.
And how many people out there are like battling with that, with frizzy hair? And I mean, as a parent, when you have a child and trying to get the tangles out of their hair is just, the emotion that goes with that, because the child's screaming or crying because it hurts, and you're saying that you can help to avoid those situations by using your products.
It's definitely psychological trauma when you're battling with your kid, trying to get the tangles out. They really, I mean, in my case, my child has nicely avoided that situation, but parents, it can be grueling for sure. So I love that. Now, is there any other special properties in any of the other products that you would want to talk about? Well, I love them all dearly. This is the newborn line for newborns or anyone with dry, sensitive skin. It has oat and calendula in it. And oat and calendula are really well known to help relieve eczema and dry skin and be extremely soothing. So that's the property of this line. The Lavender Meadow Sweet is for calming and soothing, bed-night routine. This bubble bath is one of the best I've ever smelled.
Oh yeah, the bubble bath. Yeah, just you have a bubble bath. Tell us about the bubble bath and how your kids love the bubble bath.
Well, this has Lavender Meadow Sweet in it, so it's not just uniquely lavender. So the smell overwhelms the house. It's like this amazing, soothing, calming smell that permeates the house. So the whole family loves this, and kids love bubbles, and we're a family that takes a lot of bubble baths. So actually, funny enough, my son, who is just over a year and a half, one of his first words was Babo. He grabs this now and says Babo and wants it in his bath. So that's kind of fun. Something that popped in my mind was I was picturing, the babies in the bubble bath, and then I started thinking about other bubble baths, and I know that one of the problems for them is like the pH level. Yeah. That's very key. Yeah, pH can throw off your whole skin system, so you want a pH balance product, so doesn't irritate the skin, and that's very key. That's very key with anti-aging as well. You really want pH balanced products.
And it seems like I remember that, like, even some products that are supposed to be baby products, that you could take a pH test strip and put it in there.
Yeah, I think. We know
you're saying it would be very acidic.
It's very dry and it's very acidic. I mean, we all know the stories of people, using such products, and then their kids have very, very dry, very sensitive and irritated skin. This is the opposite. Your kid takes a bath and it's highly moisturized. It's very soothing. It's very calming to the skin.
And lavender, like, educate our viewers on the properties of lavender. You said it fills your house and it's very soothing. Is that like a characteristic of lavender?
Oh, it's scientifically studied. Actually, the Wall Street Journal published an article about a year ago how it's been proven now that lavender actually does calm your senses. And again, one of the challenges with kids is putting them to sleep. We all face that, and calming them down at the end of the day. So this is a really good ingredient to use for the bedtime routine. So whether the lotion, the bubble bath, the combination of both. Yep.
That's just what I was thinking when you were talking about the calming effect. I thought, gosh, if you can calm down your kids before you put them to bed, what a great useful tool. So, boy, all that in your product, all the benefits that parents get, it's just absolutely wonderful. And then what about like the other these other ones right here?
Okay, so the Berry Primrose line is for smoothing and softening the hair. So, if you have curly hair like my own, I use this and the detangling spray, and, off you go. So parents can use it too. It smells like berries.
It's actually, you have a detangling spray. And what's the difference between that and like if you used a conditioner?
Well, I'm currently developing a conditioner. It's funny, I was developing products as my kids grow. My daughter as well has very curly hair like myself, and so now we need a heavier conditioner for her. So that's in the works. That will be out next year. But yeah, so a detangling spray is a very light spray that's easily, you can detangle the hair. When they wake up in the morning or after their shower or what have you.
Oh, okay, so maybe you didn't need to wash their hair, but it's still tangled, so before you comb it, you can just put a little bit of that on, and it's going to even help even more to get those tangles out.
Dry or damp hair, you can use it, to tame the hair in any condition that it's in.
Okay, and then what about this?
Okay, so this is also one of my favorites, and we are doing great with this line because this whole line is about prevention. And this is a lice repelling product, so it's a shampoo that repels head lice. We know that head lice, millions of kids across the country, around the world get it. It's not a demographic problem. It's purely something that happens all the time in schools and in camps. This is to prevent head lice. So it's the rosemary, tea tree, thyme, and mint in this product that is like a repellent, clinically proven to repel head lice. So there's a shampoo and a spray that goes.
Well, with my experience with lice, and yeah, it's just something that happens with kids.
Yeah.
You can't get away. It's not because someone's more dirty than someone else. It has nothing to do with that. But one of the things I have noticed that lice seem to like some people more than other people. And I would think that for parents, that if your child has had lice one time, you know that lice like them. and maybe, that you would want to start using this so that you don't even have, because that is a nightmare. And the pesticides in those lice products are so severe. It is a neurotoxin to get rid of the lice. It is so poisonous.
It is so chemically laden with product. I mean, it is so horrendous to go down that route that every parent should just prevent it from the start. And it's easily done. You use a repellent and you keep the hair back and you make sure that the child doesn't share items, which is bound to happen, but there's preventative ways to work, to not get head lice, which is a disaster when it happens. And again, it's this emotional thing that happens in a family. Once it occurs, it's really traumatic for parents and for kids. Let's prevent. This whole line is about prevention.
This is like one of the most beautiful, and not only that, but resourceful in that it deals with so many different situations that parents have to deal with. And you as a mom, you've recognized all these problems that other moms are having, and you've come up with solutions. The most perfect solution, because it doesn't harm their child at all. And people don't realize, you're just talking about the lice. I mean, those products with pure pesticides, and then people will leave them on too long, longer than they probably should, and they start freaking out that lice are all over their house, and just, and you're saying, boy, that whole situation, just use this shampoo and you won't even have to deal with it, because those essential oils, they just don't like those.
Exactly. It's like an insect repellent, right? We all use those. So it's exactly the same. Some, animals just don't react well to certain smells.
And it's totally harmless to the child, and actually those botanicals are healing and beneficial as well.
They're very medicinal ingredients. I mean, people have told me that they, not to get kind of gross with, issues, but one woman said, I used it on my athlete's foot and my foot was all cured, or, these are medicinal properties as well. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. People have used it on their dogs to repel fleas, ticks, and everything like that. So multi-purpose, and they're very safe and gentle. I actually really love the smell. I know that lice don't, but I do. So, we use it daily on our kids.
Well, there's one other thing that I'd like to ask you about before we wrap up, and that's dandruff. And I know that that's also like a really big deal with people that they have to deal with. What would you say about your products as someone that is trying to deal with a problem with itchy, scaly scalp?
I mean, I do think our products are the most soothing and calming for the skin. And, I think they're great for men who deal with a lot of dandruff. And
well, what's the, why do people even get that? Is it the products that they're using? Is it hormonal? What do you think it comes from?
Well, we developed it in my former life. I did develop a lot of dandruff products, actually, and it is a medical issue, and it is FDA regulated when you come out with a dandruff shampoo. So there are medical issues that relate to the hormone level, as you said, and just irritated scalp. But again, prevention. Why not use the most natural, soothing ingredients you can to help prevent things that might come up in the future?
I know, because we were talking about pH level, and then people are using shampoos that are very harsh, and their scalp's going to react to those different products.
Absolutely, the scalp is one of the most sensitive areas, and so it's and particularly if you don't have hair. And a lot of kids do not have hair, so when they're born, obviously. So starting preventing the scalp at an early stage. So skin, scalp, hair, the whole gamut.
You could actually, because I know that I had a teenage son that started to happen to, and I thought it was partly because of hormones, but maybe just starting from the beginning, things could be avoided later on. So I totally believe in prevention. And why don't you tell people like where they can find them and your website and that kind of thing?
Okay, well, my website is www.babobotanicals.com, babobotanicals.com, and we're sold from moms at diapers.com, drugstore.com. We will be launching in Whole Foods in the East Coast next month, and
online.
Online, yes, so drugstore.com, diapers.com, derm store for adults, ulta.com, and a variety of other e-commerce locations and national retailers across the country now. So it's very exciting.
Well, I have to tell you, you're now my #1 recommendation for personal care products like this. You've done a great job, Kate, and I've really enjoyed our interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, you're wonderful. You're definitely okay. All right, everyone, we're going to have more products coming up.